Hello everyone, a bit of a change today. I'm actually in the potting shed. So I was at the allotment yesterday, got a bit of work done up there yesterday, but got a few things to do around the house and that, so I'm working from home today. What a difference a week makes. Last weekend we were at the allotment in 26 degrees eating ice cream. This morning when we got out of bed at about 9 o'clock, 4 degrees. So it's been a massive big swing over the past couple of days. So I've got a few things I'm going to do today. I want to plant my broad beans and root trainers. I also want to empty one of my tubs of potatoes that are here in the back garden. And once I've done that, I'm going to go indoors and I'm going to pick up my beetroot, because I peeled a lot of my beetroot yesterday. So let me just quickly show you the beetroot I peeled yesterday. So this is what I got yesterday. That's probably about the ideal size for me. Some people might think that's a bit too big, but I think that's about the ideal size. There's some little ones which are barely worth even bothering about, but I'll do them all the same. And I've got a couple of the cylindria ones. I might try growing these again next year. There's also a few of the sort of like white ones. Taste exactly the same as other beetroot, except they're white. So after I get finished in the shed, I'm going to be taking them into the kitchen, cleaning them up and pickling them. So broad beans. Okay, broad beans. Sorry it was a bit dark in here. It's just cold outside. I don't want to be standing outside doing all this when I can stay in the shed. So my preferred method of doing broad beans is in root trainers. So these are my root trainers. I've had them for about 7 years and they're beginning to break up now, and they're not as good as what they once were. Now these are the very flimsy root trainers you buy from almost everywhere. The plastic is really fragile, and if you look after them, they will last you long. And as I say, I've had these ones for about 7 years, so I think I've got my money's worth out of them. So I decided to bite the bullet and get my credit card out and go and do a bit of shopping. So I went and got these. These are 28 plant cell root trainers with a watering tray and a little propagator lid. These were from, they're made by Garland, so you know they're good quality make. But I got these from Grown Local, which is a site that Tony C. Smith uses quite a lot, one of his favourite sites. But the real reason that I got these ones is the quality of the plastic. It's a much more rigid plastic. I mean, there's no giving that whatsoever. They're much more rigid. They will open up just like normal root trainers, so you can get your plants out, but I can't, unless you can actually feel them. The quality is so much, you know, compared to this, where you can practically bend it in half. This is rigid and there is no way of bending it. So this is a different type of polythene or plastic. It's used, much more robust. It's going to last a lot longer. In fact, there's a 10-year guarantee with these. And as you can see, there's a little picture on the back of how they're used. Hope you can see that if you've never used root trainers before. But I'm going to show you what I do too. It's my preferred method of growing beans as in root trainers. So I'll just put that to one side. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, that's the lid for it, to keep it extra warm and keep the moisture in. So that's what it will look like when it's all assembled. And you've got the really heavy duty plastic tray underneath, which will be used for watering. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a pair of gloves and I'm going to fill these all in and put them back into here. So enjoy some music or something while I get on with this. I might even talk to you. Yeah, so I was at the allotment yesterday and I was fixing the roof of my lower shed. So it's not a shed I use for keeping anything valuable in, because it doesn't lock. And basically I've seen better firewood than the wood that's holding this shed together. So I had some recycled wood. I got some recycled wood from someone at work. It's old decking wood that they were getting rid of. I presume they're getting new decking or doing something different for the garden. So I got about 10 planks of recycled decking off them, and I had some bitumen, corrugated bitumen, that I it used to be on top of the rabbit run, but it looked an awful lot on there for some reason. So what I've done is I've recycled that. I'm going to use that on top of my bottom shed to basically just to harvest rainwater. That's all I usually use that shed for. I do still some stuff like cardboard and canes in it, but I find the mice usually get the cardboard before I can get round to using it. And the canes, well, got to leave them somewhere. If I leave them out in the open all the time, then they just disintegrate. So this is 28 cells in this root trainer, and this year I'm going to be growing Aquadulce, which is a overwintering broad bean. Past couple of years I've grown Grand Violetto, which is a purple bean when it matures. Well, the skin's purple, the bean's normal bean colour inside. But I was looking through my seed tray and I found some brown seeds, which I can only assume are the Aquadulce from a couple of years ago that I saved. So I thought I'd use them rather than let them go to waste. So what I'm doing is I'm just lightly tapping down the soil in these root trainers just so they're all full up. So the reason I do these early and do them over winter is so I can get an early harvest of broad beans, and hopefully it will harvest. The beans will be ready before the black fly can take effect as well, if they're in early enough. If we get a mild enough winter, then we'll get an early crop hopefully. I usually find the best thing to do over winter time with them is surround them with a fleece horizontally as a windbreak, because I find it's the wind that does the more damage to them, not the cold temperatures. They can withstand quite cold temperatures, but the wind whipping the plants back and forth. You get strong winds. I find that does the most damage. So I usually put a fleece around them, around the bed and round. I stake every individual one and put a fleece around just to protect them. Okay, so almost there, last one. And it's really simple growing beans like this. I do my summer beans as well, and these in root trainers, borlotti beans, claw-held, runner beans, anything like that. I prefer to do my peas in the ground, although I think I did do the ones too in root trainers, and I transplanted them basically because during the summertime anything green that showed above the ground was getting eaten by slugs, so I got them to a reasonable size where they were not going to get eaten by slugs. So that is nice and snug in there. These are the beans I'm going to use. As I said before, the Garland Violetto, which is a Italian broad bean, I suppose, more a deep purple colour than these. These are more of a brown colour, so these, I presume these are Aquadulce. Some people, these beans are dried. Some people will rehydrate the beans before they plant them. I've never found it a problem. I've always just put them in dry, and they usually come up. So I'm just going to push each bean down about that length, about an inch and a half, and I'm going to push it down sideways on. Some people say if you put it a little like that way on its side, the water on it, there's a lot of surface contact with water and it can rot. I don't know if that's true or not, but why bother taking a chance, you know? So I'll just gently push these in. And these will stay in my shed. This shed, I'll put the cover on, and these will stay in this shed until they're about 5-6 inches tall. Then I'll take them up to the allotment and transfer them into the bed where they're going to grow. You could plant the seeds directly in the ground, but you run the risk of mice stealing the seeds. I've never seen any evidence of mice in this shed, so I'm quite happy to put these in here. If I put them in the greenhouse at the allotment or my shed at the allotment, and I know the mice would get them, or even if I put them outside. Almost there now. And you don't want to compact the soil, you just want to make it firm but not so compact that the roots struggle to make their way through. So that's all the beans in. I'm just going to cover them up. As I said, I've got these root trainers from Grow Local. They were actually a good price as well. You know, you'd expect a good quality set of root trainers like this to be expensive, but they weren't. They were actually quite a reasonable price. I'll stick the price up on the screen because I can't remember. However, they were. The postage was expensive for one item, so if you're going to buy something, it might be worthwhile to maybe buy some seeds or something, you know, something as well, you know, to get the most out of the postage. I thought the postage was a bit steep, but then again, that's probably down to the Royal Mail or Parcel Force, whatever they're called these days, rather than the company selling the product. They don't have that much control over the mail. So it was sent 24-hour tracked, 48-hour tracked delivery. So that was quite good. It only took a couple of days to arrive once I put the order in. So that's the beans. I'm just going to give them a quick water. Hopefully they'll hydrate very quickly and start growing. I'd expect to see something within a week. You see the top soil begin to disturb in a week. So I'll bring you back later, maybe next week or 10 days time, and show you how we got on with them. Okay, so I want to get some compost out in the compost bins, just to plant a few things up. This compost bin is mostly made up of waste from the rabbit run, which is straw and hay. That's usually my brown component to the compost, and my green nitrogen filled stuff is usually kitchen scraps and grass clippings from the front garden for when I mow the front garden. Now, I don't know how long this stuff's been in here, but it's been in quite a while and it's rotted down nicely. I mean, it looks really nice, this. There is the occasional big lumps, and what I will do is I will sift it before I use it and get rid of any big lumps. Any big lumps will go back in and they'll be given a second chance to compost. But if you've never tried making your own compost, have a go. If you've got the space, that is, have a go. It's not difficult. If you don't have rabbits supplying you with, you know, brown stuff for your compost bin, you can always use paper or cardboard, which many people use as a brown component for making compost. It's just that I seem to have more waste from the rabbits than I know what to do, so it all goes in the compost. But this is looking really nice, and I'm hoping it's going to be quite fertile as well. Who knows, if I use this next year I might be able to grow a decent pot of potatoes for my dinner. Luckily I've got a few potatoes still in the house, so I don't think we're going to starve this evening. But I'm only going to take the one pot out as I need it, and I'll just leave the rest inside this compost bin and get round to using it, well, when I need it. So I might take some up the allotment to use for my new carrot bed, but I'll just take a bag out at a time and transport a bag at a time. But I hope you find this video interesting, and if you'd like to, you can always comment or leave a thumbs up. I do try and reply to any comments, and if you feel like subscribing, please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. But that's it for today from a very cold Exeter. Thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you up at the allotment next time.